Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 163 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Today we're talking about contribution. Of course, this entire month we're focusing on how do you give back? How do you interact with things outside of yourself as part of this year's challenge? Because as we contribute, as we have an impact, as we do things outside of ourselves, it increases our confidence. It helps to become a continually improving process and just a part of who we are. So today we're talking about step 4 of the SOAP framework, which is progress. How do you know if what you're doing is working? How do you know you're making progress, filling that gap between where you are and where you want to be? Well, we usually find ways to measure, and I usually talk about what are different ways to measure, but I'm going to talk about a couple of other things in addition to that today, because I want to make sure that if there's things, people have resistance to contribution. I want to talk about 3 ways to impact and overcome that resistance, as well as some ways to make your contribution sustainable, because contribution really becomes a lifestyle if we're consistent and intentional about it. It becomes part of who we are, which is part of becoming a better human being. And I think I mentioned early on this month when we started talking about it, I was raised by parents that taught me to have an impact, to do things that make the world a better place. And so it's just kind of inherent in who I am and my nature. And that's the point that we all want to get to, I think, because that's how we make the world a better place. That's how, by being an example, right? Instead of a warning. I talk about that a lot. Let's be an example instead of a warning. Guess what? I have definitely been a warning in certain phases of my life and with certain activities and choices that I've made. But I learned from those mistakes so far. Now, doesn't mean I'm not going to keep making mistakes, because I guarantee I will. I'm human, just like everybody else is. So how do you know that what you're doing is working to fill the gap between your contribution? For me, it's pretty easy. I haven't done the action item today where I'm going to ask myself, how am I going to measure if I'm making progress or not? But it's pretty easy. I can measure number of hours I volunteer each week, and then review it monthly, or each month and review it every month. I can tally it up and say, okay, these are the number of hours I volunteered. But I want to ask myself more questions than just how many hours, or how much money did I raise, or how much money did I donate to a certain cause in terms of contribution. I want to ask myself, what did I do? And for the next few days, let's do this and think about these questions so they become automatic for us. Number 1, what did I do today that aligned with my contribution goal, with my goal to spend more hours volunteering in person or doing activities in person with other human beings? And then how did it make me feel, right? Because we can do things and take actions, but if it just made us feel meh, or if it didn't feel good, then we want to find something else. We want to find things and ways to contribute to things outside of us, and people and places and things outside of us that make us feel good. If it doesn't make us feel good, then it's not aligned with our goals and who we are, and it isn't the right thing for us to be doing. If I find that what I pick an organization, I'm volunteering for it on a regular basis, and I don't feel great when I am done with that volunteering experience each time, I'm going to find somewhere else to volunteer or somewhere else to contribute, because everything in our life should make us feel good. I mean, I can't stand the expression love is pain and all this stuff, because it's not supposed to be. Love is supposed to be love and always make us feel good. It's one of the highest vibrating energies and emotions and feelings that there is. So it should never, ever be linked to something that makes us feel bad, in my humble opinion, and that of many other experts as well. So how did it make you feel? What impact did I observe in myself and others? Because giving will make you feel as good as the person that receives, if not better. What obstacles came up, and how did I handle them? Guess what? Just like any other area of our life, we're going to have challenges and obstacles that come up, and we have to decide, well, are we going to keep doing that or not? For me, it might be my ride can't show up one day to take me to volunteer or to take me to an event. How am I going to handle that? That would be an example of an obstacle for me personally. And then what will I do differently tomorrow? What can I do, or next time? Maybe you're volunteering monthly or weekly or something. And then I would ask myself, well, what can I do next time that would make the experience even better? Or what could I do next time to make my impact stronger, or to make me feel better about how I did in the interactions? So we want to find a way to measure. So our action item today is to figure out a way to measure whether you're filling the gap between where you are and where you want to be with respect to this area of contribution, so that you know. So you can say, you can look at it, you can say, all right, I volunteered 25 hours this month. That's pretty good. Usually I only get about 10 hours in, whatever it is for you. And if you're like me, a nerdy engineer, you'll track it on an Excel spreadsheet and make a little graph of it and then be able to really look at it and see it. But do what works for you and makes you feel good. I like doing Excel spreadsheets and looking at graphs. It makes me feel good because I can visually see what's going on with my performance. So, how do you overcome resistance to contribution? All of us have time constraints, doubt of inadequacy, imposter syndrome, fear of stepping out of our comfort zone. I was actually going to talk about the comfort zone today, but I'm not going to because I'll talk about it many other times this year. Our comfort zone, I am of the mind that nothing great or awesome or magical or miraculous happens when we're in our comfort zone. It only happens when we're stepping out of the edge and we're being brave and showing initiative in order to make things happen in our life and in the lives of other people. Just my opinion. But the truth is, there's no perfect time or there's no right time or wrong time to start impacting the world around you. And I'm going to say making the world a better place, because if you're just making the world a worse place, please don't. Please stay home. Please watch Netflix. If you want to make the world a better place, get out there and make the world a better place. I think at my age, I've come to understand that nothing happens in our life unless we decide and choose to make it happen. Good, the bad, the ugly, it all happens for us, even though it doesn't always feel that way. Those bad experiences, those obstacles, those challenges, those getting fired, those ending a relationship, those accidents, those health challenges, none of that feels like it's for us at the time, but it's always for us when we look back on that event and see what happened out and came out of that. It's always for us to see something that's going on in our life that we might not want to look at. So, what are some ways to maximize your contribution and get leverage, or use leverage to maximize your contribution? Number one, document your journey. Share in a blog or in posts or via social media to inspire other people to contribute as well. Collaborate with other people. It's always easier to do things as a group than it is to do it all by yourself. But sometimes you have to be the first to step out and do something, and that will bring other people along. Use your strengths, not just give money. Don't just give money. I mean, if that's all you can do, do that. If that's all you're comfortable doing right now, start with that. But realize there's so much more you can do and so many more ways you contribute to make the world a better place by using your skills and your abilities and your natural talents. And those things feel good to use, right? Those are some of the most energizing ways to contribute. How do you sustain your contribution journey? How do you keep moving forward in this? I think you review your impact monthly. Just ask yourself a few questions. Am I aligned with the cause or the causes that I'm contributing to or adding value to or putting my time and energy in right now? If the answer is no, then look for something else. There are so many ways to give back to the world. There's no excuse for not finding one that fits and aligns with how you want to show up in the world. Is this fulfilling or draining? If it's draining, that is a clear indication to you that either you're not setting appropriate boundaries for you, because we each have different amounts of time and energy available to anything, and we have to decide what that is. If you're putting in too much time, you're going to get burnt out, just like you would with a job or anything else. Anybody ever been a parent? Do you get burnt out being a parent? Absolutely, because it's so much time and effort, and we don't have boundaries, and we don't set systems and structures in place with our families to make things work out for us. And then what needs to change? And maybe it's, I need to change the organization I'm working with. Maybe I just need to change the group of people for the organization I'm working with. Maybe I need to just go to a different area because this group of people and I aren't in alignment in terms of our core values and things. So you refine your path just like anything else. You tweak it and test it and change it along the way. And as long as it's working great, but just like anything else, just like it's the reason some relationships don't stay in our lives our entire lives, right? Are you still friends with the kids you were in kindergarten with? I'm going to say chances are 99% that you are not. If you are, count that as a blessing as long as that relationship makes you feel good, and really be grateful for it, because most people will never have that. And The same is true with this and any other area of our life. It's up to us to create the life we want. And we do that in a proactive way by using tools and strategies that have been proven to work for other people. And then for us, we repeat the patterns and the processes and the systems and things that work for us as well. All right, that's all I've got today. All this was supposed to be about how do you know if you're making progress to fill the gap. Any questions about this, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.